Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the Reptile Barn. At long last, we will show you a clutch that actually hatched quite a while ago. At the time, we couldn't film. We were so rushed, and then we didn't get to it. I'm finally going to show you because it's awesome. First, as promised, the beautiful parents. Start with the male. This is Onyx. He is funny story. Part of the reason we used him and this girl in particular was because, as we've talked about many times on the vlog, we purchased this male as a GHI Enchi Gravel, okay? And gravel is the key ingredient in highways. A gravel yellow belly is a highway, right? Just like an asphalt yellow belly is a freeway. This girl, as you can see, is an ivory. She's also leopard. We used her because we figured, she's guaranteed to pass on yellow belly. So if he's a gravel, half the baby should be highways, right? if they produce more ivories together. Then he's a yellow belly, right? So we will show you the babies, but I'm just going to spoil it for you. He did not prove out. He is, in fact, a GHI Enchi yellow belly, okay? Still, great snake. It's not like we're like, we can't use him then, he's terrible. Awesome snake, still great potential, good combination of genes still. But we're very sad that he does not have gravel. That means, for one thing, we don't have gravel in our collection, which we thought we did. For another thing, we didn't get any highways, which we hoped to do. And we overpaid because he was sold as a gravel, which is more valuable right now than a yellow belly. But that's okay. I'm not going to name the breeder. I don't do that. We don't bash people on this channel. But it was definitely a letdown. We felt disappointed. However, we're now, weeks later, and the clutch has grown on us, and it's hard to be disappointed. Sorry, girlie. Anyways, as I said, also, this is a Leopard Ivory. This is the female, right? You can see she's not a particularly big girl, but she actually laid 5 eggs, but only 4 of the babies survived. And she's eating like a machine. She was a late season layer anyways, so she won't lay again till, early fall. So she's got a long time to pack on the weight before we attempt to breed her again. And as always, if she doesn't make weight, basically the weight that she was at last year before breeding, we just won't breed her, and that's totally fine. She's eating so incredibly well. She's only a few hundred grams off of her previous weight already. She's gonna make it. She will far surpass last year's weight. So that's the parents. All of the potential combos could involve either they're all going to be yellow belly because of the mom, right? Half of them should also be ivories, which is super yellow belly. Enchi, GHI, and Leopard could also be in the mix, okay? So now we will walk you through the babies and talk about what we think each one of them is. That beautiful mama, by the way, her name is Freya. Forgot to mention. So let's get into the clutch. This awesome little snake is obviously leopard. And obviously yellow belly because everything has to be yellow belly. I do not believe that she is Enchi. A few people have told me that her head looks kind of Enchi-like, but I don't see it in her color or her pattern. She's selling as just a leopard yellow belly. When I'm not sure, I never add the guarantee of a gene that I don't actually know. What I wanted to point out on her is this epic ringer thing on her tail end. I just love that. If she had been one more gene as a female, we probably would have kept her. But as just a 2 gene female, nothing recessive or anything, I couldn't justify it, but she's so beautiful. I really wanted to. Anyways, look at the strong, I think what's going on, it's almost like a reverse ringer. The leopard and yellow belly are showing up along the entire snake except that patch right there. And that patch goes all the way around the snake. It's really cool. But you can see the strong yellow belly influence on all the rest of the belly. The flames up the sides. I mean, and you know, it's guaranteed yellow belly because the mom is a super yellow belly. But and then the leopard, unmistakable pattern and color mutation. The leopard is so strong. I'm really sad to see this girl go. She's about to get picked up soon, and it will be sad to not see her anymore. But I couldn't do it. You know, we're so limited on space. We're just a small boutique kind of breeder. We can't keep everything. But man, we just don't have very many dark snakes, and I didn't want to get rid of her, but we had to. But hopefully we can repeat the breeding and get, you know, something even darker. If we got a GHI Leopard yellow belly, something like that, in a female, we would probably hold on to something like that. But anyways, one lucky guy is getting this snake here. Again, it's a Leopard yellow belly female. Next up, this is a male. Ooh, he's a little bit fired up. It's okay, bud. I didn't put her on the ground.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is an ivory, so a super yellow belly, okay? I was absolutely certain that there was nothing else going on. Now he's eaten 5 or something times, 4 times, and it's kind of getting that truer color to him that they get. Usually, let me back up. When they first hatch, they have that shiny skin on them. They don't look really anything like they're going to look in their final form. They shed that first skin, that special skin that keeps them safe when they're in that liquid environment inside the egg, and they get their more typical soft velvety scales after that, but they still don't fully color up. Usually it's really not till 300 or 400 grams where they've got that perfect ball python look where their colors are complete. They just look their best, you know, as that young juvenile stage. So these little hatchlings, they still aren't fully colored up. He has added an absolute ton of color just in the last 2 weeks, okay? He shed a second time, and he has eaten, you know, for the last month or whatever. And now I'm like, I still don't think he's leopard. Leopard adds a ton of color and pattern into ivories, but I'm wondering if he might be an Enchi ivory. I haven't looked at him under a black light. I'm not sure if there's enough that you'd really see under a black light. But I'm going to reach out to some people. I always say that, and then I rarely do it. But I've got to do it because I really need to know what these are. People want to know. Lots of times, you know, you start to get into these $300 plus snakes, and people really at least think about breeding them down the road, and they want to know what's in them. So I need to do my job as the breeder and make sure that I'm as accurate as possible. Again, I'm never going to guarantee something that I'm not 100% certain of, but I'd at least like to be able to tell people, like, you know, I'm leaning very strongly towards Enchi being there, for example, with this snake. I wouldn't charge for that, you know, in the price, but I would at least want to tell the person what I'm thinking so that they know what's in their snake, potentially. Regardless, a lot of color. I know that yellow bellies, or super yellow bellies, so ivories, are not just, you know, a pure jet white snake. I know that. They often get some color in them, especially that yellowing down the back. But there's just a lot in him, and his head's really dark and getting darker. So I'll set him down here for you, and you can take a look at him on a plain background. Either way, he's very beautiful, and we're happy with him, and we'll you know, sell him either way to somebody, and they'll be getting an amazing snake. But I am starting to wonder if he might actually be an Enchi ivory. All right, let's put him away and bring out his sister. Same deal on this girl. In fact, she's got even more color than the male does. Again, these started out very, very white, and they are just... they're not even white snakes anymore. I'm not sure what the camera is picking up, okay? So I have to make that clear. I assume it's doing a good job, though. Liz behind the camera isn't saying anything bad. This girl has a ton of color. Again, I would be shocked if she's a leopard. Her mom, who's a full adult, is still more patterned than this snake. So I don't think there's leopard here. But I'm also very much wondering, and the head looks a little bit Enchi-ish just from that bit of dark pattern that's shining through. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to some people more expert than I. This is really only our second year hatching, these multi-gene combos, right? Our initial breeding stock 5 or 6 years ago was hets for some recessive things. We got some adult, single gene incomplete dominant snakes, and we started building our breeding stock up, holding back a lot of snakes and just selling here and there. But now, we're getting these 2, 3, even 4 gene combos. It's a lot harder. And I really do not want to misrepresent a snake to someone who's purchased it. People come to us, they're spending good money. They trust us, and I want to deserve that trust. And so we do our best. We reach out when we need to experts, but I also don't want to, annoy these people who they owe me nothing. Some random person texting them, hey, can you help me identify this snake? And they're a busy person too. But I will get the help that I need to properly identify these, or I'll just bite the bullet and sell it as an ivory because I can't guarantee the Enchi there, right? Unless someone can tell me, oh no, that cue right there, that's what you're looking for it to be an Enchi. In which case, if they were a trustworthy source. Anyway, so let me set her down as well. If we lean strongly towards her being an Enchi, we'll either keep her or possibly I have a friend who we might send her to and he can prove her out for us. And then we might get a baby back from him as payment. But either way, I would like to know down the road what she is just for my own knowledge, because if we hatch more of them, I want to know what it was. So there you have it, a female ivory possible Enchi. Before I put her away, I want to show you what I'm talking about as far as this color coming in, because, I'm saying, oh, she's so colorful. Well, compared to most ball pythons, she's really not. But for an ivory, she is. And let me show you her sister. Where is she? The one that we're keeping for sure, just to show you what I mean about how much color is coming in on these guys as they are aging. Look at the difference between these two snakes. These are full siblings, same clutch, same breeding. And she also is kind of feisty pants right now, but they all seem to be calming down once they've been out for a second. Look at the difference in color. I'm trying to get her to hold still so I can look at that. Now, what I believe is going on here is that this snake on your right, I think has GHI in it. GHI ivories that I have seen are very, very, very low color. Almost pure white snake right there. Very, very close. And she is not adding color as she ages. Her white is actually improving. A lot of times with young snakes that are white, they actually have a pink tone to them when they're first hatched and for the first couple of weeks or months. As they get size, the pink undertones kind of go away and they become more of a really actual white snake. Don't bite your sister, please. And I think that what's going on there is that these white snakes that are super small, they have these blood vessels, like everything does, real close to the surface of the skin, right? And we're seeing a little bit of that, the color from the blood vessels themselves shining through. And then as they age and they get more size and the blood vessels aren't quite so obviously close to the oh, no, it's okay, to the skin, then they, turn more of a real white color. So, like I said, I just want to explain my reasoning if I wasn't clear. The only options of genes to add in to this ivory are Enchi, Leopard, and GHI. we know that it's not a leopard or an Enchi because those add color to the ivory, right? And this is a very, very, very white ivory. And because it's so white, I actually don't think it's just an ivory. Most of the ivories I've seen have a little bit of color here and there, and she's pretty much like perfect white. And the only gene left is GHI that could potentially be in this combo. So when I looked at pictures, I saw a lot of GHI ivories that were very, very nice, just pure white snakes. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm pretty confident on her. I'm not as confident on the other two that are ivories, but especially that female with that much color, I think she's probably an Enchi. As you can see, guys, this is a very inexact science, at least for me, with just so little experience doing this. It's funny because we've been breeding for almost 6 years now. In fact, it might be 6 years now, but like I said, we just haven't produced some of these combos. It's the very first time ever that I've even seen them in person. You gotta remember, we live in Alaska. I don't get to go to these mega shows with thousands and thousands of ball pythons and just peruse through them so I can see them in person. No matter how good the pictures are, taking pictures of reptiles, especially indoors, I just don't believe it can be done as accurate to what you would see with the naked eye. That's just my opinion. Maybe somebody out there is a total photography pro and they're like, what are you talking about? But I've never really seen a snake that looks exactly the same in person as it does in even the best of photographs. So this is a first for us. We had never produced ivories of any sort. Clearly this one and the other two aren't the same thing, so something is different between them. I've explained what I think they are. Anyone out there with more experience than me, which means any experience at all, please don't hesitate. I will not be offended if you're like, oh, no, you're way off, man. It's actually this, this, and this. I love getting comments like that because I am trying to learn for my own sake, for our customers' sake, and, you know, also making plans for future breedings. If I'm way off on what I think this is, I could make a real big mistake, potentially, planning future breedings, you know, and as far as what I hold back and everything. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. We always like showing off clutches. I'm sorry that it wasn't, you know, in real time with when they were hatching and everything. We didn't do a cutting video for this clutch. I think, I can't remember if it was this clutch, but something was going on and we were just so rushed and we couldn't film it and we couldn't edit at the time. So we were just like, we gotta get these guys set up. But here they are. Hope you liked it. And as always, we thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we're the Reptile Wars.